Hey there, band kids. I hope you're having a great day. I am just going to make a quick video here that helps you through Star Wars and all the edits that we've made. Now, before I get too started too quickly here, you may just notice, even from the first page of my conductor score here, that there's a big difference between the music that you start off on in fifth grade being unison, right? Everyone playing the same rhythm and perhaps even the same pitch. Then, as we get better as players, we split off and do harmonies, so two different pitches at the same time, but still the same rhythm. Well, you can see very clearly in this music we have not only different pitches and harmonies, but several different rhythms at the same time, especially when you get into like right here on this page, for example, you can see right there you've got half notes, then you've got quarter notes, half note, and triplet, and then you've got quarter, half, quarter, and you've got quarter, 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 and you've got four roughs in the snare drum, and then you got straight triplets in the mallet part down there. So you might not be used to reading a score, but that's what I look at when I'm reading music with you guys. And as you can see, it's quite complex. So I wanted to give you something that was really fun, like I said in rehearsal the other day, something that was really fun and that the crowd will enjoy and that you will enjoy practicing. But not only that, it's something that comes from a really great composer and a great arranger. Um, but this quality music, though it's complex, it's going to last you a lifetime in terms of the skills you've learned, all the rhythms, and how everything fits together um, in terms of the composition of the piece. So I hope you've been enjoying practicing it. I'm going to be giving you some advice and just talking you through the cuts that we've made. The piece is a pretty long piece, as you can see up here at the top. It's got several different themes up here: Star Wars, Rey's theme, March of the Resistance, and the Jedi steps, and the finale. So we're actually only playing some of those things to cut down the time. So if you want to just write this down on a piece of paper quick, you will be able to go back and make the changes. I'm not going to slow down and show you those changes, but the cuts are, maybe I'll just write them in here as I go, so you do have a record of it. We're cutting, actually I'll write it like this so that there's no confusion of what we're keeping and what we're cutting. We're cutting measure 25 through 44. So when I write that, what I mean is we are playing measure 24 all the way through, and we're not playing anything from measure 25 all the way through 44. We will be playing measure 45 starting at the beginning of 45. So we'll call it 25 through the end of 44, the beginning of 25 through the end of 44. Same kind of concept here, 58 through 73. We will play 57. We will play 74. And then finally we're cutting 82 through 114. So those are the cuts. Again, we'll be playing the measure before this zone, and we'll be playing the measure after this zone. What I recommend, well, you'll see what I do. I do double bar lines all the way through. You could use brackets or parentheses, or block things out. You could paint over it. Whatever you choose to do, just make sure that it's very readable and that you have no problem interpreting the cuts as we go through and rehearse for the band festival coming up. Okay, so let's move on to some ideas here. Obviously, right at the beginning, we've got this rhythm. I've been noticing that part one players and part two players, you've been missing this rest. There's a big rest there. So you play ta, 3, 4, 1, triplet 2, sorry, rest, triplet 3, triplet 1, triplet 3, triplet. Now we all have to slow down for this retardando right here, okay? So the retardando happens all the way through, and you'll hear that in the recording that I've included for you to work with. And then in the lower parts, we have this rhythm ta, ta ta ta, ta ta ta, ta ta, ta ta. Or you might have ta, ta ta ta, ta 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 ta, triplet 4, triplet 2, 3, triplet. And that's where that slowing down comes in for the retardando. Then pretty classic stuff. Da 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 da. But in the part 2, 3, 4, we all have this unison stuff. You can see these things that line up. Everybody has the same thing. if you can't quite figure out that rhythm during rehearsals or on the performance, just pay attention to that snare drum part. That snare drum part right there is exactly the same rhythm that everybody else has. Okay, then we move on. We've been playing this part pretty well. I do want to highlight some of the low end parts that haven't quite been happening just perfectly yet. Measure 7, 8, 9. That big rest right here, that's a big deal. Rest 2 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and that's got to be huge. In fact, I'm going to even ask you guys to write in a bunch of accents or even just write in a word, write the word huge, or make it just a big circle around it, something to note that should be really big. You can see that you're the only ones that have that rhythm. And again, we got many rhythms going on. Look what we have up here. And these voices is different than what we have in these voices, which is different than what we have in these voices, which is different than these voices. And of course this, and then this. So there's a lot of layers going on. That's pretty complex stuff. We've been making it through to here just fine. So keep up the good work, just those low voices. I really want some emphasis in the French horns, trombones, anybody who plays these 4 quarter notes here in measure 15. Those are pretty important. And of course, this suspended cymbal roll should be big every time. Watch the counting, but make sure you go big by the end. It can start soft, but then really make sure that everyone knows you're playing it. Fill the entire gym with your sound. Now, one of my favorite parts is this French horn, alto sax part right here in measure 16 that climbs up and up and up, da 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 da. It's pretty cool, and it sets us up for this big downfall, da 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 da, and everybody's nailing that. One way to really set that apart, as you can see here, at the same time down here we have 4 quarter notes, and those are really crucial to setting up the tempo for the rest of the players up here. Okay, so if you play those 4 quarter notes in measure 18, that's really important. And then they get followed by these awesome triplets. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, triplet 3, and then that's followed by triplets up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, triplet 3, triplet 1, and that's how we get going back to the main melody. Okay, now we find ourselves at measure 21. Really intricate parts in the rhythm of all these players, but luckily they're all together, so we should be able to bind together on all that stuff. And here's where that cut comes. We play 24, we don't play 25. You can eliminate all that stuff in your music, but then we kind of do this cut right to measure 45 here. Okay, and we play this da 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 da, and kind of slow it down. It's kind of hidden here, but you can see there's a ritardando. We're slowing it down right there. And then flutes, oboes, you come in with your fancy do 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 do. Make sure you get that rhythm right. The only problem we had, I think, at all was in this rhythm, and it was only in one of the hours. So make sure you get that practiced. Then we go crazy. So the timpani, the tam-tam, and the bass drum do this gigantic roll and a huge crash cymbal to set off this really menacing, evil rest. Ba 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 ba. We've been nailing that, and then of course the roll happens again. So don't forget to stay on it. And then to get out of that section, I've been pointing right in your face if you play tuba, or if you're anyone else who plays this part 5 right here. I've been just really giving it right to you so that you can know to come in with those 2 notes, because that is all that plays there, and that brings us into this March of the Renaissance, March of the Resistance part. Da da dun, da 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 dun, da da dun. Now, what I've done is I've changed this. I experimented with one of the hours today, or the other day, and we're gonna actually play 56 and 57. We weren't going to, so that's a change. Make sure you check that out. So da 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 da. Da 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 da, and that jumps. Before we get to that jump, though, take a look at some of the sharps and flats in here. It's really not a key that you're used to and not notes that you're used to. So it might be good to write in fingerings or at least put the sharps above the notes that you need to play sharp or flat. So for example, a trumpet player not only might miss their B natural, which is a second valve, but they would also miss their F sharps. Those are both different than what they're used to. G, A, not so big a deal, but then again, these B's and these F sharps, they at least gave you this little parentheses to show you, to remind you that that's an F sharp. But don't forget that it's not a B flat either, it's B natural. Flutes, the same thing kind of happens to you. You're used to, I don't know, these A's are now A natural and E natural. So we got some things going on there that you're not quite used to. Obviously, C sharps, everybody has an added sharp here at the end. So lots of sharps. It goes all the way through all the alto sax and French horn and trombone parts. So really take a look at that 56 and 57. If you can do that on your own, it saves us time in rehearsal, and we don't have a lot of time left. So then we jump right to 74. And the important part, like we've said, is to set that pitch center with those low voices. Bom, 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 bum, bum, bum. And if we can play nice long notes, I guess I would, just to help us out, we're going to skip playing eighth notes at all. We're going to play long notes. And can we not play medium? Could we play forte? Maybe fortissimo? Does that sound good? Mark that in your part, especially tubas and any trombones who play that. Okay, now I noticed that we have not been playing this part very loud. So everyone goes dun 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 da 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 dun dun, but there's a really a dun dun da 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 bum bum bum. So it's kind of a really cool bum bum bum. It's almost like a timpani part. Da da dun. And I also want you to write in your music. Oh my gosh, there's a fermata now. So we're gonna we've been playing this part and then just stopping, but now I'm gonna reveal to you what we're up to. So we're gonna play that ba 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 dun 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 da da da, and I want you to hold on your last note of 81, wherever that might be. So for low voices, that's earlier than for high voices. You can see right there. Then, after holding on that for just 1 second maybe, we're gonna have some people play this beautiful melody at 115. Okay, you can't quite see that. I'll make that better. At 115, we jump back in, and they just come in. They're actually going to play the note before, so it starts there. Okay? Da, 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 da. You probably recognize that. And then everyone comes in really swoopingly from nowhere. Obviously, this mallet thing is going on that whole time. Ding, 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 ding. And then we come in and we start moving a little faster. That's where it says moving forward. And then we slow down. So really a lot going on in just 4 measures there. We speed up, we push a little bit forward, and then we relax and slow down. And then the other part that we know pretty well, 122 to the end. Okay, da dun, da da dun, da da. No big deal. You guys will hit that. But 122 for the lower voices, part 4 and 5, has a little bit different feeling to come across. Rest, bum, bum, rest, bum, bum, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that takes some counting. You really got to know where you are. And then we all get into this bum, 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 and we're back into the main melody. No problem at that point. Mallets, you've got a killer set of 16th notes here. So just take a look at it. If we break it down, it shouldn't be too hard. You just got 4 notes down. The only difference is the end of it right there. So the same thing 3 times, once, twice, 3 times, but the fourth part is a little bit higher. So you got to read those notes, you got to figure them out. You know how to do that. It starts on the E flat, so we're going basically down the scale from E flat 3 times and then down the scale from, well, what do you think that is up there? A flat, okay? And we have 3 flats in the key signature, so watch out. But you can learn that. That's 2 measures. Pretty sure anyone can learn that, no problem. But play it nice and loud. It does say loud. So you can play that on the bells or the vibes, as you can see there. And then we're back into it. And we're going to do a gigantic ritardando at the end and slow way down. Really bringing it home in the low voices here. Okay, I highlighted that. And then we have this bum, 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 ba. And we're going to hold that fermata there at the end for a ridiculously long amount of time. and just keep it going. You could put something like that, a nice arrow, or you could, put like "Hold Me," classic T-shirt design, and that will be the end of the piece. Everyone will applaud, and it'll be fantastic. Please don't forget to play along with the track that I've made. It's not perfect, but I spliced it up and cut it up and so that you have something to practice with, okay? Sorry this video is so long, but if you made it through these 15 minutes, it will easily save us 15 minutes of rehearsal. And all this intricate music that we've been practicing will sound great, and everybody will love it, okay? Thanks for watching the video. Good luck practicing every day.